Right now, at this exact second, there is a very good chance that you are a victim of one of the largest corporate shakedowns in American history. And you probably don't even know it. We are talking about billions of dollars quietly siphoned out of the pockets of everyday Americans. But the tides are turning. The Department of Justice and massive class action lawyers are finally ripping the masks off these companies. If you live in the United States, you need to hear this. Because in the next 3 minutes, I am going to expose 3 massive, ongoing legal battles that are shaking this country to its core. Let's start with the one that feels like a sci-fi nightmare come to life. Millions of Americans spit into a plastic tube and mailed it off to Silicon Valley. You just wanted to know if you had Irish ancestry, or maybe find a distant cousin. You trusted a company called 23andMe with the most private thing you own, your literal genetic blueprint. But behind the scenes, their security was a ghost town. Hackers breached 23andMe, stealing the highly sensitive, deeply personal data of 6.9 million users. And this wasn't just a random leak. The hackers specifically targeted and compiled lists of users with Chinese and Ashkenazi Jewish heritage, selling this raw data on the dark web. It is one of the most chilling privacy failures in modern history. Now, the hammer has dropped. 23andMe recently agreed to a $30 million settlement. If your data was exposed, you are owed a piece of that pie. But while Silicon Valley was losing your DNA, Wall Street was stealing your American dream. Imagine you sold a $400,000 home in Austin, Texas, or maybe a quiet suburb in Ohio. You handed over $24,000 in real estate agent commissions just to get the deal done. You thought that was the law. You thought that was just how the housing market worked. It wasn't. It was a cartel. For decades, the National Association of Realtors enforced a rigged system, essentially forcing home sellers to pay the buyer's agent an inflated, non-negotiable fee. It was a massive, nationwide price-fixing scheme that artificially kept housing costs sky high. But they finally got caught. In a historic, earth-shattering ruling, the NAR was forced to agree to a $418 million settlement. More importantly, they were forced to rewrite the rules of real estate forever. If you sold a home in the United States in the last several years, you were likely overcharged, and you might just be eligible for a slice of that $400 million apology. And finally, we have to talk about the absolute, undisputed king of American monopolies. If you tried to buy concert tickets anytime in the last 10 years, you already know the pain. You sit in a digital waiting room for hours, only to watch a $50 ticket magically transform into a $150 ticket thanks to invisible service fees and processing charges. When millions of Americans, and Taylor Swift herself, went to war with Ticketmaster during the Eras Tour meltdown, Washington, D.C. finally woke up. The United States Department of Justice has officially filed a massive antitrust lawsuit against Ticketmaster and its parent company, Live Nation. The government is alleging that Live Nation uses aggressive, mafia-style tactics to threaten venues, crush competitors, and bleed American fans dry. They aren't just looking for a fine. The U.S. government is trying to break Live Nation into pieces. If the DOJ wins, the era of the $100 junk fee is dead. These companies thought they were untouchable. They thought you wouldn't notice. But the bill is finally coming due. Don't let them keep your money. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss the deadlines to file your claims, and let me know in the comments which of these companies owes you an apology.